Hello, you're welcome. You're welcome to my channel today, and thank you for viewing this content. It gives me good joy to notice you are watching this video today. I'm Dr. Olayinka Conley. I'm a sociologist. I'm a lecturer in the university. I'm a researcher. I'm a life coach. I'm a relationship manager. I'm a public speaker. Well, on this channel, I do a number of stuff, but all these stuff, we can cluster them into four: sociology, research, relationship, and migration. If this is your first time of coming in contact with my channel, or you've seen my video, kindly subscribe to this channel. Tap your notification button so you are alerted every time I drop new content. Kindly share, comment, and like. And if you subscribe to this channel previously, thank you very much for staying tuned. Kindly comment, like, and share. Today, I want to address a very important issue in scholarship. Very important: how to access grants for dissertation or thesis and some sources. I want to talk generally about how, and specifically on how you may access grants for your thesis, dissertations, or projects, and I'll mention some sources that may be of assistance. Now, don't forget, I did a video previously, and it's on this channel, how to win scholarship and study abroad. In case that is very useful for you, you may take it in line with this, or you may also recommend that. You have to know it's very good to have grants when you are on your PhD, or your master's, even undergraduate, or you are in a project. It makes the project or your dissertation or thesis very easy for you. You run the program as a very important personality, if you like a concept, because then it means your field work and everything, tuition, is funded by a granting body. And I think it's very good. I have quite a number of people who have used this route before, and I think it's very good, very great. It makes the work seamless and stress-free. But you have to know that it's very competitive, and you need a lot of hard work and focus and dedication. Very competitive. It's not easy. And you have to be aware, there's so many fake sources online. So you have to be aware so that you're not scammed. Make sure you try as much as possible to get authentic sources as you search. One thing you have to know is that you must have a funding action plan. That's very important. If you want to win grants for your work, you must have a plan. Who fail to plan to fail, actually. So you must have a plan. Number one, on your action plan, is talk to your supervisor. Many people underestimate this. Many supervisors have research accounts. They have projects that they can key your work into as a part of the bigger project. So talk to your supervisor intentionally about your desire to have funding. And if he or she has a research account or project ongoing that can key onto, or networks or pieces of advice can give you. So intentionally or deliberately have the conversation with your supervisor. Maybe he has existing grants, existing research accounts, existing project that you can work on. So through which your project can become part of the bigger project that may fund your work. I think that's very good. Also, search in your research area. Search in your research. Do a random search in your study area, in your niche area, and every discipline may have or tend to have granting bodies and research opportunities or funding opportunities. So search narrowly. You can't just search too broadly. Search narrowly around that side, and look for student bursary in your school or your research area, student grants, student bursaries, and ask your institution generally. Some institutions do have grant portfolios. They have organizations that they've been working with. They have compendium of database of granting bodies that they have worked with in the past that they know. So they usually have the grant portfolio. So ask your institution. You may go to the research management office. You may go to grant office, depending on what they call it in your school. Ask the body to give you their portfolio, and contact. You may also contact relevant industries, relevant organizations that may need knowledge or data around in the area you are researching on. Maybe a company or an organization or a body that may be interested in what you are working on. So that they may support you, because they may then have access to the intellectual property or output from this your work, and they'll be interested. So you consider external bodies like industries and companies, and also consider self-funding. It's not a problem to have grants. It's not a problem, it's good. But in case, maybe because of the competitions or some other reason you can't get, don't despair. You can still look for opportunities where you can be research assistants, you may to some organizations or to some researchers that you can be generating some side income to can fund yourself. Don't despair if you don't. I've seen many students or many master students or PhD students or people running projects, and they get depressed because they can't get funding and others are getting. It's not the end of the world. You can still do your study or your dissertation or your project yourself, write your thesis yourself through self-funding. You can do research assistance and some other things you can do that are related to your study, and that is very important. But you must also have some behavioral infrastructure or characteristics like that if you want to look for funding or if you are looking for a grant, which I want to mention. Number one, you have to be focused. You have to be focused. You must know this is what you want to do, and you must be able to do it. Then you must start early. It takes time to win grants, because you have to write, you have to source. So don't be urgent about it. Start early and be dynamic and determined. It's very important for you to be dynamic and determined. Then get good references. Some people are so casual about reference letters. They get somebody or recommendation letter. They just get somebody who just write a few lines for them. That's not good. Make sure you use referees who are able to write extensively about you and write something very good about you. Then do a lot of work on your statement of purpose. There's another video which is going to be available on this channel. This video, you can search this channel, is on how to write excellent statement of purpose. This is very important. This is what will determine sometimes whether you win or not. So strong, letter of recommendation or reference letter, very important. Strong statement of purpose, very important. And research very well. And research very well in the area so that you are able to get good grasp of the knowledge area. So these are good quality, and you must be determined. And don't be depressed if you receive no. These are a very important point. Don't be depressed if you receive no or if you receive rejection. So don't let rejection lead to depression for you. It's very important. So I haven't said it. I think it's also very important for us to consider what are some sources that are available based on my experience, my knowledge, my research. So one of the very strong one I know is Social Science and Humanity Research Council in Canada. I've had the opportunity of working on this through this grant before. Social Science and Humanity Research Council in Canada is a very good one you may consider. Then there's also UK Research and Innovation, UKRI. These are not very important you may consider. There's Social Science Research Council also. Though it depends whether you are in engineering, you are in health, or you are in social sciences, you are in humanities. This is very important, and so you have to narrow down. But these are also areas you can even welcome. It's also another very important one you may want to consider. Quite a number of them, like SSR, Citizen Research Council, like I mentioned. There's also AHP, African Humanity Program, and ACLS, African Council of Learned Societies. Then there's also AERC, African Economic Research Council, very important. You can consider those ones too. They can consider Commonwealth Scholarship, very important. If you are in a Commonwealth country, very fantastic, very great one. Commonwealth Scholarship, though very competitive, but very, very, very good. They can also Codestria, also our Council for the Development of Social Research in Africa. Codestria is also very important one. Mercator Foundation, very important. Rockefeller also very important. Rockefeller Foundation, then is very, very important. Then there are also very important you have to consider. There are universities and institutions who also support their students. So you have to find out from the university. I think I mentioned this also earlier. So contact your institution and ask deliberately for grants. Sometimes it's not so specified, though most of the time it's specified in the admission process, but sometimes keep engaging them. Things come up. So continue to ask your university and also consider teaching assistantship, graduate teaching assistantship. It's also very important. GTA, graduate teaching assistantship. Ask around in your university if there is great teaching assistantship for you. That one, they can waive your tuition for you. They can even support your work. It's very important. Then there's also the United Nations University. UNU, also United Nations University. Also, they do award grants for students, or masters and PhD students for dissertation and thesis. Also, they can also support your work. Though sometimes may not be full, but sometimes you can also access for depending on your area of interest. Then you can also consider Alexander von Humboldt University, Alexander von Humboldt, fellowship. It's also very important. Alexander von Humboldt. So consider this body. So even if you don't have grants and fellowship, immediately for your grant and thesis, for your dissertation and thesis, keep this organization in view. It's a very strong organization that you can benefit from, even at different points of your career. So consider Alexander von Humboldt. Do research on them. It's in Germany. It's a very strong one. Then there are different countries now also trying to open up to international students through all manners of grants for thesis, for dissertation. And a lot of them, you may not, though it's very competitive in the EU, in the UK, in the US, for many of these countries, they're also building commercialized educational system. So sometimes commoditization of education can make it very, because of the capitalistic tendencies of many universities in the world now. So grants and fellowship may not actually be very popular or easy to come about in some of these universities. But there are some universities and some countries that are trying to attract international students. So you can look towards them. I know a lot of people who have scholarship and grants for dissertation and thesis in Taiwan, in Japan, in China, and different places, depending on the countries and your context of your work. So open up to different countries and open your options. Don't be too rigid. Be comprehensive and dynamic to search for options. The most important thing is that, is your work going to be done? Are you going to have grants? Is the country peaceful? And many other considerations you may want to take. So you may consider some unusual places to get your work aside the mainstream areas. So as you consider the granting body, consider different countries and the rest of it. So I know a number of other people who have used this other path. But I'm sure if you follow this approach I'm giving you here, you are certainly going to have a grant. I'm going to access a grant very soon. I will actually give my next video. Kindly subscribe, kindly comment, like, and share, and stay tuned. Another video is on the line. Until then, go and succeed.